Today's invocation will be given by Father D. Freeman with St. James Episcopal Church. And I'll ask you to remain standing for the Pledge of Allegiance.
Would you please bow your heads? Let us pray. Almighty God, it's been a difficult year, but we continue to thank you for the abundance of your gifts you have bestowed upon the people of this community, for the bounty of this city and the beautiful land in which we reside. We pray this day that your wisdom and strength be upon our mayor and councilman and all those who support the work they do. Give them the mind to govern amidst conflicting interests and issues of our time. Give them compassion to understand the needs of the people who live here. Give them a sense of your justice so they may do what is good and right in your eyes. We pray also for our first responders and all those who put their lives in danger so that we might live in safety and peace. We lift up all those who are caring for our sick and our suffering in our community, especially the doctors, nurses, and caregivers and therapists. We pray for your gentle and healing arms to be around those who suffer from this virus that plagues this community and our world. Comfort those who suffer and grieve from losses. Help us all to have the sense and compassion for our fellow human man, that we may continue to protect others from the spread to the best of our abilities. Protect those who travel this time during a celebration of peace and joy. May your love and blessings rest upon us all, so that we may continue to become the people you call us to be. All this we pray this day through your Son, whose incarnation we celebrate during this Holy Week. Amen.
Amen. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you, Father Freeman. Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas.
Okay, council, first order of business tonight will be to approve the minutes of the December the 14th regular city council meeting, work session, and agenda meetings. Do you have any changes, additions, or deletions to those minutes?
Make a motion we approve the minutes as presented. Second.
A motion and a second to approve the minutes as submitted. Any discussion? Okay, hearing none, all those in favor, please say aye. Aye. Opposed, please say nay. Okay, those minutes are approved. Council, let me make a quick announcement. Item 5 shall be removed from the agenda. This is a public hearing. It was originally advertised to be heard on Monday night, and I've talked to staff about it, and the proper procedure was to go ahead and put it on to today's agenda, but then to table it until the first meeting in January. It's nothing that's pressing, not going to affect anything, but you know, we just want to give adequate time for public input, so we felt it best to put that off until January. So item 5, that public hearing will be postponed until January meeting. Mayor Sullivan, your report, please.
Thank you. I have a few things today because we're not having a work session. I'm going to give some of the departmental updates. But I wanted to start by congratulating Jill Cabanis. She's our finance director, and she was recognized by the Government Finance Officers Association of the United States and Canada and has been awarded the Certificate of Achievement for Excellence in Financial Reporting. So I just want to congratulate Jill and her staff for all they do and for winning this award yet again. I think this is probably going on about 10 or 12 years, Jill? 13. So congratulations, Jill. Thank you for all you do. The other thing I wanted to mention is that we did meet, Lisa, myself, and Diane Thomas from the Personnel Board had a call yesterday with Auburn regarding the study that they're doing for HR. And we're going to bring to you next meeting to extend their contract to May of 21. And that will be specifically for the job descriptions, the compensation study, and the pay plan. We also have another contract with them that was supposed to have deliverables as of June 21, and that was for the personnel handbook. They did, in our conversation, said it would be very hard to meet that time deadline, and it's almost a $75,000 contract, so at the next meeting, I will ask you to cancel that contract with Auburn until we get the deliverables on the first one, make sure they are what we want, and then we can revisit that in the next budget year. So I'll bring that to you at the next meeting. The other thing I wanted to mention is at the last meeting, you had asked me to renegotiate with the contract for the UV upgrade with Volkert. Jason Langley and I have been working on that, and because we expedited this meeting, we'll bring that to you at the January 11th meeting. The other thing I wanted to mention is there's a few department updates just to let y'all know that we, of course, have the app that we've been working on that is live and active, and I think Jessica has a video that she's going to be posting encouraging people to download that. I hope most of you have downloaded that already and gotten some push notifications today about the holiday garbage and trash schedule, recycling schedule. Kevin, did you download that app?
Looks like.
Why you do it like that?
As of yet.
Probably his
Thank you
wife.
for bringing that up.
His wife probably downloaded it, right?
She's worse than I am.
Anyway, but if you can, please download that. It's got some great information, and Jessica's done a great job implementing that. The other thing is Eric Cortinez wanted to report that the Citizen Serve portal is going live on Monday. That was something that the council passed, is being paid for with the CARES Act, and that will allow people to do things online with the building department. So very excited about that, and that will go live on Monday, and we'll be getting some information out on that as well. And most everything else, the disaster debris removal, I think Councilman Burrell may touch on that here in the meeting, but want to let y'all know that, we're wrapping those operations up, and that as of just after the Christmas break, the contractor will be back and will conduct a final project closeout activity. So after Christmas, that will happen. And also, we started on the Rotary Youth Club basketball courts this week. So excited about doing that. And just remind everybody that the city does close half a day tomorrow and all day on Friday. And so there will be garbage and trash will run tomorrow, recycling, but other than that, they will not run on Friday. Okay. And now for the fun stuff, the budget.
May I ask you one question real quick?
Sure.
For the debris removal from the numbers from True North, as you mentioned that, instead of being in my book, I know that they're sitting on my desk. Do you have that data
I
with
do.
you?
I do.
Would you do that for me,
I
please?
can. I'd be glad to. So as of 12/19, they have removed 548,357 cubic yards of vegetative debris and 6,834 cubic yards of C&D. Yes, it says C7D on my notes. C&D have been removed, and I think that was a total just over $8 million. So yeah, a lot of money, a lot of time, and a lot of debris. So and again, so now moving on to the budget, I do expect to have everybody's budget booked to them next week, by the end of next week, if not sooner. And just wanted to hit some of the highlights today about the budget. It has been, for the past 10 to 12 weeks, working on that. It's been a long process, and I apologize that it's taken so long, but there's a lot in the budget and a lot that needed to be revisited, and wanted to make sure that I did that, effectively and timely. But right now, the revenues, we are very conservative on revenues for 2021. Obviously, we don't know what at least the first half of the year is going to look like. We have budgeted property tax at 97% of what has been projected by the Baldwin County Revenue Commissioner. The other thing is we don't know what business licenses are going to look like. That we'll collect those by the end of January, and I know even across the state, people are worried about what those business licenses can look like. So again, we're being very conservative with revenues. Some of the expenditures that you will see, there's $16 million in utility upgrades, $1 million in drainage and resurfacing projects, almost $1 million in rec improvements, which include the ADA accessibility at Valana Stadium and the new basketball courts and play equipment at Rotary Youth Club, 3 new police Tahoes that are fully equipped, and an investigator vehicle, a $10,000 increase for the appropriation to the Haven. It also includes a 2% COLA for the employees. And it also includes the $625,000 match funding for the possible Baldwin County EDA grant for the K1 Center. A new fire truck, turnout gear and headsets for the fire department, upgrades at the Pecan building. We've also added a $10,000 in there for the K1 Center maintenance to continue to upgrade that building and continue to do maintenance on it. $100,000 for library improvements and new air conditioning units at Rotary Youth Club. It does include 2 new employees also in the gas department and a fire custodian. Some of the other things, just from a departmental standpoint, that you'll see is for the police department, I mentioned the Tahoes and the investigator vehicle. Also, some software to help with some policy updates. And for recreation, again, there'll be some pool repair on the indoor and outdoor pool, upgrades to the fields at Valana and Founders, and then the ADA accessibility, obviously, of Valana Stadium. And for Public Works, you're going to see, there will be the personnel things, one of them actually is on the agenda today, to do some overlapping for some retiring employees, new skid steer, some mowers, a grapple attachment for the skid steer to help with the beach cleanup, a new trash truck, new garbage cans. At the golf course, you'll see carpet for the clubhouse, green repair, a new range ball machine, and then, of course, the utilities. You'll see some substation upgrades, Green Oak Road light replacements, some AMI infrastructure, the UV system upgrade for wastewater, some new trucks in the water department, water truck maintenance, the Church Street project, and in gas, you'll see some ongoing upgrades for unprotected services, some meter station upgrades, and 2 new welding machines. So there's a lot in the budget this year. A lot of, things that are happening in the city that need to be taken care of. So again, I hope to get that to y'all next week. You'll have your budget book by the end of next week, and we can start scheduling those meetings and hopefully get that, on the agenda sometimes later in the month of January. Okay. I just wanted to end on a positive note. This was really cute, something that we got today. You'll see they sent a nice card, a nice note. This is for the sanitation department of the trash department. It says, "We have the nicest trash collector. He honks the horn for us when my kids, Mackenzie and Franklin, hear him coming down the street. We just wanted to let him know how much he makes our day. Our son Franklin will be getting a toy garbage truck for Christmas. May God grant you blessings and joy this Christmas." So it's always nice to receive notes like that from families. I know it excites the employees to be able to see how much they improve somebody's day. So thank you and Merry Christmas.
Mayor Sullivan, one question. The fire truck that's in the budget, was that carryover from last year?
Yes, it's carryover.
And the fire department's still going to put in their match?
They are.
Okay, fantastic.
They are.
Okay. Any questions for the mayor? I know it was just an executive summary, so.
It was quick and it's a lot. So, but you'll have your budget book. You'll have everything in there.
Okay. All right. Anything else, Mayor?
No, I do too. I failed to mention thank you to Kim and to Jill for their work on the budget. I have been really leaning on them pretty hard to sit down with me and review this time and time again because I've gone through every line and I keep making revisions and keep, asking for them to do something else. So I really appreciate their time and being patient with me as I work through this process. Thank you.
Thank you. All right, that concludes the mayor's report. Public participation for agenda items. If you would like to speak to the council concerning items 6 through 20, like I said, 5 has been removed from the agenda. So items 6 through 20, if you'll come to the podium and please state your name and address for the record.
Bob Keyser, I'm the chairman of the Recreation Board. 2 items that are on the agenda that are particularly important to the Rec Board. I wanted to make sure that you were aware of our support for that. Item number 9 on the topographic survey for Valana Park. That's vital to us getting a good master plan put together for improvements to the Valana Park area that the mayor had mentioned. Item 12 on the clay tennis courts. For the repair of those from the hurricane damage that we sustained back in September. Those are both very important to us. I don't know if now's the appropriate time or not, but I'll throw in a quick. I appreciate our conversation earlier, Jack, regarding the pool repairs. That's an item that's very important to us. As soon as we can get that in whatever form that comes out, that's vitally important to us so that we don't disrupt the use of the pool for our citizens when it's in prime use time. Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else?
Out of abundance of caution, for item number 5, would you mind announcing the date and time of the next meeting? We can confirm with, please, I believe it's January 11th.
Can you confirm that?
It's January 11th at 6 p.m.
Okay. So for the record, the public hearing, the ordinance to amend zoning ordinance number 1253 regarding Article 7, Section D on non-conforming lots There will be a public hearing at the regularly scheduled council meeting, 6 p.m., January the 11th. Yes, sir. Anyone else from the public? Okay, I'll close public participation and remind everyone you'll have another opportunity to address the council on non-agenda items at the conclusion of tonight's meeting. Council comments. Councilman Martin?
Yeah, I'm glad to see we have public participation today. We had one person speak today. That was good to see. Usually it's just usually it's just the staff. I'm glad the reg board guys came in support of the 2 items on the bill. I think those are very important. I just want to also encourage people to, hold the ship steady with this virus, continue to protect people at this time, think of others. Try not to politicize this issue. We're almost there. The vaccine is coming. Some people, I have friends that have already received the vaccine, but let's love on each other a little bit longer. I know it's been a tough year, but let's continue to love on each other a little bit longer and protect each other. All right? That's all I have. Merry Christmas, guys. Happy New Year.
Yeah, Merry Christmas and Happy New Year. That's all I've got.
Councilman Brown?
Same. Merry Christmas, Happy New Year.
Councilman
travels.
Boone, you want to pull up your app and give us any words of wisdom?
Let me see what I can do about get my children to pull that app up for me.
We got to sit down with
Get
it.
that worked on. But I would like to wish everybody a Merry Christmas and a safe holiday season that we're having here. Y'all be safe out there, and if you're going to drink, don't drive.
I did send you an email with a link to that app in there,
No. Was I supposed to check that? Did you call me and tell me it was there?
Merry Christmas and Happy New Year. And I think that to the chairman of the rec board's comments, we're going to have that work completed on that pool. We've got some more information that'll be forthcoming to the council, and we should have that completed by the end of even January. So I think things are moving along well there. So more to come on that. So thank you for bringing that up. With that, I'll close council comments, and I'll move to item 6, which is final adoption of an ordinance amending zoning ordinance number 1253, Article 3, Section C, dimension standards, amending number 5, waterfront lots.
Thank you,
Mr.
Council
Simmons?
President. And we've seen this, nothing's changed since the public hearing, so I'll just kind of read this real quick and leave it at that and let y'all vote, but if you have any questions, the same slides we saw last council meeting are here. This is an amendment to the section for waterfront lots. Accessory structures may be in front of the building or side of the principal structures. This is in addition to what's allowed in the rear of the lot, which is a street side on waterfront lots that front the Mobile Bay. And then that's the structures over submerged state lands are not included in that. So the language is here. I won't even go through every word of it unless there's any questions or anything I need to clarify.
Council, I know we had a lot of discussion at the last meeting on this. Any further discussion or questions?
I just want to clarify to the public, to mention what Jack was speaking about as far as safety, and that the front would rear out into the street. I think we discussed that that's not the case. In most cases, we wouldn't have to worry about people backing out in safety purposes and wrecks. Can you speak on that?
Sure. That's a limited condition on any of the lots. And then on most of those, they're going to, the driveway is going to come to the interior of the lot, to the side. And then anything we look at as staff for zoning code compliance, we're going to look at, and then there's always the safety standards. So
Okay.
we're going to review any permit, and if we catch that, I mean, that's something that between Eric and our staff, we can look at, and if it's a safety hazard, we have some other leverage there that we can do. I don't think that will be too much of an issue, but we have we can lean on that.
Very good.
Any further questions, council? Okay, hearing no further questions or discussion, I'll entertain a motion for final adoption.
So moved.
Second.
We have a motion and a second for final adoption. Any further discussion? Okay, hearing none. Clerk, will you call the question, please?
Council President?
Aye.
Place 2,
Aye.
place 3,
Aye.
place 4,
Aye.
place 5.
Aye.
Okay, motion carries. Thank you. Thank you, council. Item 7 is a resolution to award the RFQ for Geographic Information System Services contract for the Alabama Department of Conservation and Natural Resources, grant number S1P17-FACP, and Restore Act project, the Fairhope Area Community-Based Comprehensive Land Use Plan to Goodwill Mills and Kaywood with a total not to exceed fees of $97,500. Who would be the most applicable to speak to this? If we have questions.
Probably Jessica.
Okay. Does anybody have any questions for Jessica on this? You should have all of this in your, you should have received this in your package in your mailbox.
Make a motion, we approve.
Okay.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to approve. Any further discussion? Okay, hearing none, all those in favor of the resolution, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, say nay. Okay, the motion carries. Thank you, council. Item 8 is a resolution to reject all bids for RFQ number 009-21 for repairs to various roofs at the Fairhope Rec Center property, which were damaged by Hurricane Sally, at the recommendation of the Rec Department. There was some things scratched out in my book. Is that right, Lisa?
That's correct.
Okay. Pat, you want to speak? Can you speak to this?
Yeah, I'd have to refer to Richard on that.
Do I now?
I'd have to refer to Richard on that. I don't know
Okay.
if he's here or not.
Okay, yeah, he's here. Richard, would you touch on that, please, sir?
As you know, we've been doing quite a few roofs related to Sally, and this was just a response that one, it was a contractor that we don't have experience with, and the price was just not congruent with what we've been seeing, so we think we can get a better value by re-advertising it and rejecting this sole responsive bidder.
Okay.
It was too high.
Okay. Any questions for Richard?
Good job.
I will entertain a motion to reject all the bids and put it back out for bid.
So moved.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Is there any further discussion? Okay, hearing none, all those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, please say nay. Okay, motion carries. Thank you, council. Item number 9 is a resolution. The city council approves the selection of Jade Consulting to perform topographic survey services at Volanta Park, and hereby authorizes Mayor Sherry Sullivan to negotiate a fee schedule and establish a not-to-exceed limit with this firm. This was mentioned by Rec Board Chairman. Do you need, any of you need Pat to describe what this is? I think we're pretty familiar with this, right?
Make a motion, we approve as presented.
Second. Have a motion and a second to approve the selection. Any further discussion? Okay, hearing none. All those in favor of the motion, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, please say nay. Okay, the motion carries. Thank you, council. Item 10 is a resolution to award a bid for drainage improvements at Oak and Section Street for the Public Works Department to Ammons and Blackman with a total bid proposal of $233,415.40. Mr. Johnson? I assume that's what all these concrete pipes are doing in the parking lot out here?
No, that's Church Street.
Oh, that's Church Street.
So we're asking to award this. As you may or may not be aware, we've got a persistent issue going down Section Street from Oak going north. That flume is completely coming apart, and we have not been able to maintain flowers in the 2 beds at the corner of Oak and Section. So this project was actually on the drawing board back at the beginning of the year, but we put it on hold because of COVID and waiting to see what the ultimate budget impact would be. But this would be installing new inlets upstream of Oak, picking that water up and getting it under the intersection, as well as replacing that flume that is just very unsightly and unsafe running all the way down to where it empties into the gully at the bottom of the hill.
Okay, so it's going to start kind of south of Oak out here, maybe top of the hill, and go all the way to the bottom of the hill?
You know where the new Moore development is? The first inlet that will be introduced will be just immediately north of there, and then there'll be another inlet before Oak. That'll pick up all the water that's coming down on this block of section on that side, and then also replace the flume that's carrying all the water from section going north until you get to the bottom, toward Bayou, yes.
And that was put in, which budget was that in? Is that going to be in the proposed 2021 budget?
It has been captured in the 2021, but that, we did have, we had $300,000 designated in the 20 budget for drainage improvements that we didn't really, other than pay for the engineering out of, and then we kind of put that in stasis to wait to see what the budgets look like. So yeah, it's going to be our drainage project for 2021.
I got you. Questions for Mr. Johnson, council? It is needed for sure.
Yeah, it's in bad shape. Yes, sir.
Okay. Council, I'll entertain a motion to award the bid for the drainage improvements.
So moved.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Any further questions or discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor of awarding the bid, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, please say nay. Okay, motion carries. Thank you, council. Item 11 is a resolution to award the RFQ for mold remediation services at the Fairhope Public Library property due to the Hurricane Sally for the Public Works Department to Pure Services Group doing business as Pure Maintenance of Alabama with a total RFQ proposal of $16,877.12. Mr. Johnson.
Yes, sir. We had a report of an issue with some mold that had occurred in the library, best we can tell, and we are claiming it with FEMA and our insurance provider, is that the combination of some wind-blown water as well as that library not having air conditioning for a period of time after immediately following storm due to the electrical outage, and we've just got to remediate it. That's a public use building, and it just has to be done.
Yeah, sure. Okay. Council, I'll entertain a motion to award the RFQ for mold remediation services at the library.
So moved.
Second.
Okay, there a motion and a second. Any further discussion or questions? Okay, hearing none, all those in favor of the motion, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed, please say nay. All right, motion carries. Thank you, council. Item 12 is a resolution to award an RFQ for clay tennis court repairs damaged by Hurricane Sally and Hurricane Zeta for the Recreation Department to American Tennis Courts Incorporated with a total RFQ proposal of $38,019. I think that if we have damage to our tennis courts, and I would think that this is going to be also reimbursed by FEMA. Do we have insurance that covers tennis courts, or is that just the FEMA funds?
I think both are covered.
Really? Okay. A lot of those items are hard to insure, so I would say worst case, if we got the FEMA money, we'd be paying 12.5%, right? So about $4,000, and they'll probably come out looking like new. So anyway, I'll entertain a motion to award the RFQ to repair the tennis courts. I did have a motion. Okay, and a second. Okay. Any further discussion or questions?
Council President, I got a question. The memo and the bid sheet say the bid was $29,920, and the proposal in the is $38,019 on the agenda.
Can we explain that? Is there a typo in here? We need to get that right. It does show 29,920.
Isn't one for Hurricane Sally and one's for Zeta? Is there not
That's-
8,000?
That's correct.
Oh, there it is, yeah.
Yeah. There's two
Zeta's
separate
8,000, there you
amounts,
go,
two
Robert, it's
sheets.
right below it. Thank you, Lisa. Yeah, I think that was the two, yeah,
Right.
combined. Just in that paragraph under the 29,900, right below that, $8,098.
And only the Sally portion will be able to do FEMA reimbursement. So they got an estimate and had it all for Sally, and then additional damage happened when Zeta came through. So only the portion for Sally, it will be reimbursable.
Which is 75% of it, which is good. So is that because Zeta still hasn't been declared a disaster here?
Baldwin County did not get declared. Mobile County did, and some northern counties for most, but Baldwin County did not meet the threshold to be declared.
Understand. Thank you, Kim. All right, we have a motion and a second, don't we?
Yes, you do.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Any further questions? Good question. Good catch, Robert. Yeah. Okay. Hearing no further questions, all those in favor of the motion, please say aye. Opposed, please say nay. Okay, motion carries. Thank you. Item 13 is a resolution that the City of Fairhope vote to procure the fire retardant personnel protective equipment, or PPE apparel lease for the utilities. The PPE, is available for direct procurement through the Omnia Partners contract, which has been nationally bid through their bid providers, I believe, what's that
Should be
supposed to
processed.
say? Therefore, does not have to be let out for bid at an estimated cost of $46,167. How many, let's see that in here. So this is 5 sets. Is that, so a set is just for one person then? Is that right,
Correct.
Kim?
Yes, sir, that'll show you, because they'll get 5 uniforms be able to use for the week.
Okay, so
And they
two-
and they wash them themselves. So we put together a spreadsheet, you should be able to see of what the lease program would be compared to if we purchased those uniforms.
It's about,
basically triple.
it's almost a third. How, have you purchased them, how long will they supposedly last?
Well, being that the type of material it is, Mike, can you explain more on those fire retardant uniforms? How often they would last?
For the line crews and things like that, the gas guys, you're probably going to get roughly 2 years, maybe a little bit less out of them.
So not greater than 3 then?
Typically not, I mean, because theoretically, according to the standards, once they start to fray, they're supposed to be replaced because you don't know what condition the FR is after that.
Okay. And the reason I ask is that, yeah, the lease is cheaper, but if they buy them and they last more than 3 times or 3 years, then
Yeah, it
it'd be
depends
cheaper to buy
on,
them.
you know, a lot of it depends on what they're doing. Like the gas guys are probably going to go through them a little bit quicker because they're digging the ditches more than the electric guys. So, but it just kind of depends on how they're used and who's using them, that kind of thing.
So right now.
So that'll be, so this will basically be an annual cost of $46,000?
Yes.
Okay. How many sets of PPE, how many is that
20
outfit, how many people?
22 in electric and
I'm trying to do the math real quick.
unless you're in gas.
Yeah. And the budget that's in there was based on purchasing and versus us doing the lease program.
Yeah, historically, we've purchased them, but we've had a lot of issues with a lot of companies on the purchase side lately.
So the projected estimate, that is an estimate based on what we've already budgeted, but we think it's because of the lease program, this cost should come down a lot less.
We'll still have some items that they'll purchase, such as coats, you know, that they won't lease for 6 months at a time. Those kind of things.
We can give it a shot.
Yeah.
I mean, some things work out better to purchase, some things don't.
Yeah.
All right. All right.
Yep.
All right. I'll entertain a motion to purchase the fire retardant PPE.
So moved.
Okay, I have a motion and a second. Any further questions or discussion? Okay, hearing none, all those in favor of the purchase, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, please say nay. Okay, thank you, council. Item 14 is a resolution, the City of Fairhope vote to procure 95-gallon bar cart garbage cans and lids for fiscal year 2021 for the Public Works Department. The items are available for direct procurement through the Sourcewell Purchasing Co-op contract, which has been nationally bid, therefore does not have to be let out for bid, with a total estimated annual cost of $38,278, which includes the freight. If you'll look at the details on that, I believe that covers 793 garbage cans. I do have a question, Richard. This is the large size garbage can, right? Do we still have, I thought that the smaller cans, because a lot of people recycle, were more in demand. Is this just to replenish our stock of the large cans?
Yeah, and the majority of the cans requested for are the large.
They are?
And just for a little background information, we have historically been using Toter, but they can't supply right now. They have some issue, whether it's tied to COVID or whatever, so we did get Schaefer to deliver some demo models because we were out of carts, and their demo models have been issued to citizens, but they seem to be equivalent, and their price is a little bit better. And really, this is a 2-year order. You save about 25% on the cans if you buy a truckload. And so, the good news is that you should not see an order like this next year. It'll probably be just a supplemental order for like the 64-gallon cans of some of the smaller units. But these are the main cans that probably 90% of what are issued are this size cans.
And Council, one of the questions that I've had recently is just kind of checking on a lot of these purchasing groups and making sure that we're getting the best price. And I did make a couple of phone calls to some people that do supply garbage cans of this type, and they said that was a great price. They couldn't beat it. And didn't know of anybody that could beat that. So it's good to know, just to do some checks every now and then, make sure we get the best deal for our
Less than $50
citizens.
a can.
It's a good price.
And just to give you this is a retail, but if you go, believe it or not, Home Depot sells Toter cans, and you can buy a 96-gallon can there, and it's $104. But buying by the truckload is because it would be about a $60-something can if we bought less than a truckload. So.
I also think if you're going with that slightly larger size, if you ever wanted to make a switch in the frequency of routes that you run, it would be better to have larger cans if you were to drop to once a week, just by the volume of the increase of service routes that they're having to add.
Y'all remember who said that now?
Yeah. All the guys out there.
Once a week, Conyers down there.
They're looking at you right now, Jimmy. You just got everybody.
We need some big old paper fingers made up, point them and boom.
I don't mind taking the hit for that.
You're on wax.
Put me on the record, once a week's
You're on
plenty.
wax for saying it.
Okay.
Just don't put it in the minutes.
No problem.
All right, Council, I'll entertain a motion to purchase the garbage cans.
So moved.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Is there any further discussion? Yeah, we're good that we're having a good time up here. Okay, all those in favor of the motion, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, say nay. All right, motion carries. Thank you, Council. Item 15 is a resolution that Mayor Sherry Sullivan is hereby authorized to execute the Second Amendment to the PCS site agreement and the memorandum of Second Amendment to the PCS site lease as presented between the City of Fairhope and Selco Partnership, doing business as Verizon Wireless for the leased area located at 8675 Fairhope Avenue. We did speak to our lease consultant as far as telecommunications are concerned. He blessed this. It's about a doubling of income that we are going to receive, and another highlight is that there is a 3% escalator every year on the lease, which starts out at $36,000 per year. So pretty good revenue for the city there. So I will entertain a motion to authorize the mayor to execute the Second Amendment.
So moved.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Is there any further discussion? Okay. Hearing none, all those in favor of the motion, please say aye. Aye. Opposed, say nay. All right, the motion carries. Item 16 is a resolution the City Council approves the revised and updated painter job description as presented and approves the allowance of a 3-month overlap training period for the new painter to thoroughly learn the position. Mayor, do you want to discuss that? Or Richard, you want to discuss that?
Try to always avoid bringing personalities into things, but y'all all know Ricky Mims. He's been with us forever, and he holds a singular job description. He is the painter for Public Works, and he has just been with us for so long, and he is so good at what he does is that most of us don't have to think about what he needs to do. He already knows to go do it, and he has decided to retire after, I'm not sure if it's 30 years, close there. He's been here a while, and two things we discovered. One, he has a whole bunch of institutional knowledge, and so whatever candidate is going to try to fill those shoes, if we could have a 3-month training overlap, that would be very beneficial to the city. The other thing is, Mr. Mims has been in that position so long, the job description was a little antiquated, and it referred to titles and positions that don't exist anymore, and it was kind of simple. It basically said he paints things for the city, and that was about the entirety of the job description. So we wanted to kind of update that, as well as ask you to allow us to have a 3-month overlap for training, because he just does such a wonderful job for us. And understand, he does streets and stripings and offices and exteriors. If it'll stand still, he can paint it. And so we just feel like that is a good plan and a good way to try to transition that position.
Questions, council? It's a lengthy description as opposed to just paint stuff.
Yeah, I think this is needed.
Well, then I'll entertain a resolution to approve the position.
So moved.
Second.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? Okay, hearing none, all those in favor of the motion, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed, say nay. All right, motion carries. Thanks.
Thank you.
Item 17 is a resolution. The current franchise agreement with Coca-Cola Bottling Company United is hereby extended by 30 days by mutual agreement of the parties. And this is just a 30-day extension to allow our lawyer and their lawyers to get together on the terms. You know, we run into this a lot with just standard language, and there's certain things due to state law that has to be in there, and Marcus always makes sure that all the T's are crossed and I's are dotted, so he just requests 30 more days. I'll entertain a motion to extend the current franchise agreement.
Second.
Okay, have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, please say nay. All right, motion carries. Thank you, council. Item 18, resolution to award an RFQ for labor to change out the meter, valves, bypass configuration, pressure reducing valve, and modifications to the vault at the Grand Hotel water meter by Hill Brothers Incorporated in the amount of $15,000 plus estimated $8,000 in equipment, which will be provided by the city. Thank you, Jason, for getting on this. They've been in need of a new meter for quite a while at the Grand Hotel to give us accurate water consumptions there. So I would ask that you support this. When asked by council, the staff of the water department, they got on it, and so here are the numbers. So I'll entertain them. Jason, did you want to say anything else about that? Okay. All right. Anybody have any questions about that? Okay. I'll entertain a motion to award the RFQ and allow the use of the city equipment.
So moved.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? Okay, hearing none, all those in favor of the motion, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, please say nay. Okay. Item number 19, appointments to the library board. Nominations for a 4-year term are Ann Johnson, Carol Wilson, and Randall Wright. And I have a note in my book that says it is Carol Wilson's birthday, so happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday, young lady.
All right. I'll entertain a motion to appoint the library board nominees to the 4-year terms.
So moved.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second to appoint Ann, Carol, and Randall. Any further discussion?
I just would like to add that the library board obviously supports these 3 individuals and would like to thank Allison Knight for her service. She is rolling off the library board, so thank you all for being willing to join.
Very good. Okay, all those in favor of the appointments, please say aye. Aye. Opposed, please say nay. Okay, motion carries. Thank you, council. Item number 20 from the Street and Traffic Control Committee. There are 3 recommendations, and Chief Hollinghead is here to discuss these at length if you would like. The first is request the City Council to authorize the installation of an all-way stop at the intersection of Estella Avenue and North Ingleside Avenue. And I believe, Chief, correct me if I'm wrong, there is currently a 2-way stop there, and that would just make that a 3-way stop. Is that correct?
That is correct.
Okay. And let me also step back, council, and say that we had a very good Street and Traffic Control Committee meeting a couple of weeks ago. I think I mentioned it in council comments in the last meeting, in which all of these items were discussed at length, and a lot of, I thought, good recommendations were made, which will bring me to bullets number 2 and 3. request the city council permission to create a task force for a traffic solution at the intersection of County Road 44, also known as Twin Beach Road and Booth Road, and I'll go ahead and read the next bullet and then come back to these. Request the city council permission to create a task force for a pedestrian safety solution on Nichols Avenue between the Hope Farm and the Fairhope Brewing Company. In both of these locations, there was much discussion of what needed to be done. And we realized that in that meeting, we weren't going to be able to solve the problem. We wanted to have more options and more studies. And so the idea was to ask Mayor Sullivan to create a task force to look into that and make recommendations. So really, bullets 2 and 3 are not asking for any more than to ask the mayor to study these situations. And one example, if you're looking at the Nichols Avenue situation, there's a lot of speeding, and we have data to support all of this. We talked about, well, a stop sign is too close to the intersection, doesn't make sense. Speed bumps may not make sense on that stretch of road. Do we want to look at a bigger picture and maybe put some landscaping there so that you narrow down the road and create, so things like that, but we couldn't decide on, and we certainly can't decide on them without data here. So we're just going to ask Mayor Sullivan to pick staff, maybe members of the planning department, public works, police department to get together, put their collective heads together and come back to council with some recommendations. Did I get all that right?
That's correct. You did good.
So other than the creating a task force, we're just asking to change a two-way stop to a three-way stop at Estella and North Ingleside Avenue. Well, I don't entertain a motion.
So moved.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second to accept these recommendations. Any further discussion? Okay, hearing none, all those in favor of the resolution, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, please say nay. All right. Motion passes. Thank you, council. Public participation, if you have anything else to bring forth before the council, please come to the podium and state your name and address for the record. I think we only have one member of the public left in the audience. James. That'd be you. I don't see you getting up, so I will close public participation. Wish everybody a very, very Merry Christmas and Happy New Year, and entertain a motion for adjournment.
So moved.
Second.
All right, all those in favor of adjournment, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? All right. We're adjourned. Thanks, council.
Richard.
Yeah, definitely Twin Beach.